Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this special edition of this coverage where we are going to be putting the spotlight on the Prime Minister's Mustafa Madbouli visit to China, and that is to attend the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Plus Summit in China on behalf of President Abdel Sisi. To shed more light on this, we are going to be a pleasure to have over the phone with us the journalist Rahman. Good morning, Mr. Amr.
Dear viewers.
Good morning, Mr. Amr. How are you?
Okay, I'm fine. How about you?
I'm good. As you see, sir, we know that the Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli is attending the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Plus Summit in China, and that is on behalf of President Abdel Sisi. So, with Egypt being a pivotal hub for China's Belt and Road Initiative, what do you think are the new infrastructure, energy, or logistics projects that were discussed ahead of the summit to deepen this economic integration?
The Chinese-Egyptian relations were actually revived in the beginning of the presidency of Mr. President Abdel Sisi. And we have all witnessed that more than a summit, more than an international summit in China, Egypt was a main partner to China in progress file in developing the mutual relations, on all levels, economical basis, diplomatic basis, political, and even military cooperation. So I believe this Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit
Yes.
Plus will be a step up to the efforts between Egypt and China to step up and raise the levels of cooperation at all levels. Economical, of course, is the main gate, and of course we have opened arms for the Chinese investors to have opportunities here in Egypt. Too many investments are being cultivated already in Egypt, industrial, agricultural, and of course in the industrial zone of Suez Canal.
Yes.
So I believe that that summit is a positive sign and a very important and it's a very significant step in the Egyptian-Chinese relations at all levels.
Yes, Mr. Amr, you've mentioned that there are a lot of economic cooperation that is going to be happening with the Chinese side. So during Prime Minister Madbouli's meeting with Chinese companies and businessmen, were there any specific agreements or talks on enhancing Chinese investments in the Suez Canal economic zone, as you mentioned, and what could be the new incentives is Egypt offering to attract Chinese manufacturing giants?
Well, of course, Chinese investors are concentrating on the industrial zone of Suez Canal. Too many and large investments were poured in that field, according to the direction of the leadership in China, and of course with a welcoming hand from our leadership here in Egypt. And I believe the most important investments in Egypt from abroad I considered from China. Too many agreements were signed, and as for the past decade, more than 10 significant agreements were signed between Egyptian
You're saying 10 significant agreements?
Too many. We have the agreements on developing the arenas in Egypt, in the shipping field, in exporting from China, in importing from China, and of course using our relations to strengthen up ties economically within the most important and strategic projects that gather Egypt and China, lots of countries around, which is the Silk Road that connects East with Egypt as the heart of the world, the heart of Africa, the gate to Africa, and the heart, the beating heart of the whole arena here in the Middle East and the Arabic East. Connections within that strategic project can bring lots of investors to Egypt, and of course, both China and Egypt can benefit a lot from such a strategic project.
Well, with this economic cooperation that we are anticipating now between China and Egypt, we're anticipating a huge expansion on it. So did the Chinese officials and the Egyptian Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli discuss any kind of expanding the use of local currencies, the Egyptian pound and the Chinese yuan, for bilateral trade, so it would reduce the dependence on the US dollar?
Well, this is a very significant question for you that you have kindly mentioned. Liberating our currency from the domination of the dollar currency is a main patriotic effort and a very priority. And a very important priority that our leadership has tackled upon since years now. And I believe that our connection, our communication economically with countries like China, like Russia, like other countries like Brazil, and other countries within the BRICS, and other lines of trade, that is a way from the domination of the dollar currency and the what I call it traditional trade lines. I believe this could be make our economy, will make it breathe, make it finally find some fresh air away from the pressure of the dollar currency and of course the Federal Reserve that is cultivated in America to dominate all the economies of the world. With such cooperation with China, with brave actions like taking measures, taking actions in that field, we can make our dream come true, is to liberate totally our economy, our currency from the domination of the dollar and the domination of the Western
dominance.
Too long and historical domination.
Yes, Mr. Amr. So beyond investment, what are the concrete steps that were agreed upon regarding technology transfer and Chinese support for Egypt, local industrialization plans, particularly in electric vehicles and green technology, especially that we know that China is one of the world's top leading technological countries. So what are we anticipating here?
What's important here is localizing, nationalizing industries, not just importing technology from abroad, whether China or other countries. That means a lot to our industrial bases to build a stronger and a solid base economically, industrially, and even agriculturally. With such cooperation, with a friendly country like China that allows its technology to be shared with us, to be localized here in Egypt throughout the wide cooperation and the long horizon and the wide horizon of relations that and strongest ties since thousands of years that connects Egypt and China. That could be a very significant point to our own economy, our own to depend on our own selves, to stand shoulder to shoulder to other countries in the competing field and technologically, and of course, using the new measures like a green hydrogen culture, or what we call it, project, the new green hydrogen, and other new measures that are the same measures that the whole world is using right now, but using them with our own identity, with our own approach, with our own vision as Egypt.
Yes.
The civilization and the long history by ourselves. We are Egypt. We have our own industrial and a stronger industrial base that we can build upon and develop according to the cooperation with a great friend like China.
Yes, so Mr. Amr, I could say that you're saying that by the Egyptian-Chinese bilateral ties are growing, we are also going to be maintaining the Egyptian identity in the middle of this strong cooperation with China. So, as a current dialogue partner now, what is the Egyptian official roadmap towards achieving full membership in the SCO, and how does it work with the 2030 agenda, the Egyptian 2030 agenda?
We have all the potentials needed to be a part of this field, in that arena. We have the investment, we have the industrial base, we have our cooperation, and we have our new set of laws that made it easier for the investor to come here in Egypt and open its project safe and sound, the easiest way. And I believe that's why too many countries from Gulf, from Europe, from West or Eastern Europe, from Far East, come and invest in Egypt. I believe that we have all the potentials needed according to our own, as I have mentioned, our own identity, our own vision, our own personality as Egypt. The Egyptian personality here means a lot.
Yes.
Globalization is the other side of the river, but on here, under our own side of the river, we have our own identity and personality that we should preserve at all time, especially when we approach the new measures of progress, the new measures of development of the economies, taking what only suits us to, as Egyptians, as economy, as society. Of course, we have our own character as a society. That's why we need only to take what suits us.
But how are we going to achieve the full membership in the SCO? How is Egypt going to successfully obtain its full membership in the SCO? What is the roadmap?
Well, I believe that the first thing here is to make our own industrial project stronger, to widen up our own projects, our own national mega projects, to be established as the largest as possible, because such projects can only make the whole world that we have our own basis of economy, our agricultural base, that we can negotiate with other countries like China, like Russia, like even countries in Europe that of course they have this basis. So you need to stand shoulder to shoulder to such greater powers. How can we do that? By expanding the horizons of our own national mega projects that can be industrial and agricultural as the first priority period. Again, we have, of course, our real estate projects and touristic and communication projects, but I believe that the industrial and the agricultural projects is the main target here. So we can step up with a heavy foot, with a strong hand, and with a brave heart to any summit like this, and using our own potentials to meet halfway with other countries, not
Yes.
waiting for them to come, or not just going their home to ask for partnership.
As you mentioned, Mr. Amr, so beyond China, Egypt is also working to cooperate with major global powers such as India, Russia, and Central Asian nations. So, did actually Prime Minister Madbouli engage to discuss new trade partnerships and sources of investments for Egypt in the SCO?
Well, of course, throughout that organization, we can expand the horizons of our own cooperation, economically, industrially, agriculturally, especially with countries like Central Asia. They have almost the same circumstances that we are living here in Egypt, that we are up against here in Egypt. And we have similar potentials, we have similar hopes and expectations. With such cooperation with countries like Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, and of course Russia and China and other countries of the sort, we can expand the horizons of our own dreams, our own agendas, our own looking forward to a better future to Egypt and for a better future to the whole world, living together in harmony.
Yes. So basically, what could be the immediate diplomatic or economic benefits that Egypt will be expecting to gain in the short term from its participation, and that is even before any formal membership is granted?
I am expecting more agreements to be signed throughout the meetings between Mr. Madbouli and his counterparts in China. I expect more agreements to be signed at too many levels.
Yes.
I believe he's going to come back with a full bag filled with new projects, new dreams, new hopes, and a stronger basis for a mutual understanding and stronger cooperation with China at all levels.
Mr. Amr?
Yes.
Yes. So are we going to be expecting in the future, like we'd like to know finally, if Egypt is going to be doing more cooperation with Far East global powers, as we see now with China, so for example, Japan and South Korea? Are we going to be expecting more expansion in bilateral ties and economic cooperation and further?
I believe that the bigger beginnings can guarantee bigger and higher expectations. So I believe that throughout the past 10 years, Egypt has went through the main gate of Far East and Europe and whole world economy throughout great events like the G20, the G7. Egypt was a part of those mega events all over the world.
Yes.
So we have entered the royal gate of economy, and I believe we have left a strong impression at all levels and of countries, whether through to the east or to the Far East or to Central Europe or in Latin America, and of course our own brothers in roots, in blood in Africa. Together with this cooperation, with variety of cooperation connections, we can expand our horizons of cooperation that can always be dependent on variation, not just leaning to the east or not just leaning to the west, but gathering the two wings of the world. That's how I only can see our economy can fly stable and strong and safe and sound.
Yes, Mr. Amr Abdelrahman, we had all the pleasure to have you with us on Nile TV International. Mr. Amr Abdelrahman, the journalist, thank you very much for being with us. So, dear viewers, as you had seen in this special edition, we have put the spotlight on the Prime Minister's Mustafa Madbouli visit to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Plus Summit in China on behalf of President Abdel al-Sisi. And we are going to be covering in the next few days, of course, on Nile TV International, the updates on this cooperation organization. So stay tuned always.